Hello everybody, this is Kiereek here. I'm back with another review, part of the review and release series. Now this game is Europa Universalis III. It is the third in the series and I will be reviewing it with all the DLC in mind. So anything you hear, keep in mind it could be from any of the DLC packs that are available. I do suggest you buy the complete edition, although not the one labeled complete, because that one is not truly complete. You need the one with Divine Wind. That's the one to get. Now, what is this game, you might ask? Well, it's a 4x strategy game. Time progresses continuously. It's not turn-based, but you can pause time at any point. You can speed it up, slow it down. Very flexible in that regard. You pick a country, any country, and from there you manage the military, the government, diplomacy, economy, policies, basically everything you need to run your country, take more land, or become a trade empire. Now, ideally, in my games, I prefer to conquer and become powerful, but it's not a necessity. If you really want to play as a small country, you can do that, but be prepared to have some sort of defense in case the AI decides it wants your land, because you do need to be ready. And smaller countries have a lower manpower limit. They bring in potentially less money, but they tend to take up faster because of their small size. Now the pros, you can play as any country. I seriously mean that. When you start as Teutonic Order, start as Denmark, start as England. All those choices are available to you, and other countries you can form later on. So if you do start as the Teutonic Order, go ahead, and when you've taken the correct territories and you have the correct requirements, well then you can go ahead and form Prussia. I like playing in the game you see here on screen. I played as Novgorod, and eventually I formed Russia. It was pretty sweet, and as a result, you really do progress through history somewhat naturally. A lot of shit can happen. It's always unexpected. So in this game, you see Denmark kind of followed historical suit, began to take a lot of Scandinavia. But I've had games where Lithuania takes over all of Asia. It's nuts, and you never know how the world's really going to turn out. So it's a pretty challenging game. If you enjoy a challenge, I'd highly suggest it, but even if you don't like a challenge, there is very easy mode, and that's a lot of fun too. If you just like running over, painting the map the color of your country. I do suggest starting on very easy and working your way up. There's a lot of settings you can toggle on and off as well, like inflation, free spies, free monks, and that'll really help you get to learn the game, and you can start to turn up the difficulty as you go on. Now it's really easily moddable. A lot of the game files are just simple text. Like you can open them in a text editor, edit it, and replace the old one, and sure enough, you've changed the game. Now, there are some pretty extensive mods out there already. You'll see in the video here, I'm using MISC mods and a DAO map. So that's a pretty common mod, very popular combination, and it kind of makes the map a little more detailed, more provinces, and it also changes up the rules just a little bit, adds extra features, extra countries. I really like it. Another really popular one is Stepwolf. That one allows you to change the time periods even more, because the vanilla game is kind of colonial times. When you use Stepwolf, you can go anywhere from Romans up to modern era, and that's pretty sweet, although that one tends to crash a little more often. Now, the game feels great when you're a powerhouse. Don't get me wrong. You'll see here Russia here. I'm pretty much a powerhouse. Although Russia does have its downsides, a lot of land means that you tech up pretty slowly. And Russia is kind of geared towards mass infantry, not quality, which means in a lot of battles you can get beat. A really big problem I had in this was Austria. They had a lot of men, and being part of the Holy Roman Empire, they got a big boost. So even though I was massive compared to them, it was a tough fight. So even a small country can still be fun. I've played as like Venice before, tried to do a trade empire, Netherlands, and even England. Forget about the mainland, go for colonialism. Have fun taking over North America and keep the fight over there. It's all possible. Now you are in full control. I mentioned before that there are settings like troop quality versus quantity. You can choose the aristocracy or plutocracy. You can choose to be more central or more decentral. Many choices. You can also have policies to increase they have different effects, right? So if you go into this church, you get stability. If you go into exploration, you'll get more colonialists. A great way is to shape your country and make your choices. For the cons, there aren't that many, but the biggest one I think is the steep learning curve. There is a tutorial, play it, try it out, watch some videos online. It's a great game once you get into it, but it can be overwhelming with a lot of math. That being said, I'd say it's the easiest of all the Paradox grand strategy games. So if you are interested in that genre, this is the place to start. Now, another con is that some of the random events seem unfair. There's one in particular I have in mind. It pops up at random. I don't think anything triggers it. And you get a choice. A comet goes by, and you get 4 choices. All of them have the same effect, and they all take away stability. That fucking sucks. Like, there's no way around that. I hate that stupid event. But it happens, and you have to deal with it. Finally, the AI is not as ruthless as I think it could be. It seems like a lot of times it has the advantage, and for some reason it settles for cash, or it settles for making me denounce some treaties or something like that, or maintaining the status quo. What the hell is that? I want my countries to be aggressive. Now, you can change this in the files. I did it just by editing the casus belli files. So, in other words, I made it less costly for them to take land and more costly for them to do the stupid things like trade agreements and all that stuff. So it encourages them, when the computer is selecting a peace agreement, to choose the aggressive taking land option. I like that a lot more. So for the score, gameplay, I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 3. Great gameplay. It's very intuitive once you look around a bit. It does take a little look around. It's easy to control, many options, and you really do feel like you're in power. You know, you have that kind of control over every little thing. It's clear, it's easy. Nothing ever happens where I'm like, what happened? How do I fix it? It's all very obvious. That's a great gameplay. For the addiction, extremely high. This game will make you forget you have children. You'll miss work. You'll forget to go to bed. Forget to eat. I'm serious. I've done it. And it is extremely addicting. It's not turn-based, right? So you can't just say one more turn, but one more war. That's what I always have. I'm just going to do one more war. I'm going to finish this battle. Well, it ends pretty badly, and pretty soon you're up until 4 in the morning. So watch yourself. It gets a 2 out of 2 for addiction for sure. Reliability, I've never had any problems with the base vanilla game. I'm going to give it a 1 out of 1. If you do start to mod it, sometimes you will get more problems, but that's okay. Just try to do the ones you feel are stable, the ones you enjoy. For atmosphere, I'm going to give it a 1 out of 2. Great atmosphere. It really does reflect that colonial time, and it greatly reflects a commanding presence. When you're moving the troops around, you know you're at war, things are going bad, things are popping up, and you know, it feels like you're in charge. That's what you want, right? You're in charge of a country. You want to feel like you're in charge and really fucking sock it to them. So atmosphere is great. Replay value, I have to give it a 2 out of 2. It is kind of the same game in a way, but the map always changes. You know, countries may do well one game and not well a different game. You can choose a different country. I mean, there's over 100 different countries on here. That's 100 different games, potentially, that you could play. Now, they're all going to turn out kind of different, kind of the same, and you know, that's kind of the result of it being the same world every time. The map never changes, but the actions of countries somewhat will. Successes, losses, and it shapes the world differently. Replay value is definitely a 2 out of 2. That means our total score is 8.5 out of 10. Really respectable. Great game. Check it out. It's really cheap nowadays. Hell, I remember GameSpy or something like that was given away for free back, and that's where I picked up my copy, my legitimate copy. So anyway, check it out. Buy it. Even if you don't buy it, I'm not encouraging you to download it, but they don't actually check. It's a great company. They don't check for a serial or anything. Back in the day, Paradox was really for spreading their software and anyone playing. Unfortunately, it changed quite a bit. Now there's so much DLC and DRM protection that it's kind of against the spirit of gaming, but more for the spirit of a company, which I understand. So no worries if you do find a pirated copy or something like that. You can still play with others. Nothing stops you, just the version number. Version number is the same. You guys can play together. Thanks for watching, guys. Check it out, buy a copy, and watch more videos. I like it when you watch videos. I want you to stick around, and yeah, there's a lot out here. I'm trying to make a bit of a comeback after being away for a while. So take it easy and have yourselves a great day.